Baedeker. We read Harper Lee's Ghost at a Watchman, and we're very excited to talk about it today. We have guest host Misty with us. Welcome, Misty.
Welcome.
Yay! So I have to tell you, I had never read To Kill a Mockingbird, and
Really?
don't you remember you made fun of me when we recorded a Lovecraft episode?
Yeah, that's true.
And you were like, what? And Keel was all like, you haven't read this, you loser, and you host a book show. So I read this, and then I turned around, and I read this. So that
Makes
was
sense.
good.
Oh, how do you freaking know?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that there were a lot of passages that were exactly the same in To Kill a Mockingbird, and in here they're just like, boop, boop.
Yep.
Like about
Really?
the hourglass figure of her aunt, and there were some other things too. So
But no Jim.
no, well, Jem's dead.
Yeah. That's
He's a goner.
That's a bummer.
He's a goner, kids.
Yep.
Okay, Josh.
And they had the flashback of To Kill a Mockingbird too.
Which one?
Little ode of his original case with the one-armed.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
wasn't remembered right. Like,
Well, yeah.
like in this one, yeah, that was really different because in this one he like only had one arm, but in To Kill a Mockingbird he was just maimed in one arm. So, and there were some other things like I think the charge was a little bit different too. Didn't it say that?
Was it? It wasn't a rape charge or what?
Well, it was a rape charge, but it was different. I can't remember how it was different, but it was different.
I haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird in a long time.
Misty,
So-
what did you think of the book?
I really liked it. I thought there was a little too much of the background in the first half, getting into her relationships with the town. I felt like that could have been shortened up, but I
Yeah.
really liked the second half of the book where she's really dealing with this perception of her father and the people in the town and where she's at, where she came from, and where she's going.
I noticed that in To Kill a Mockingbird too. It was like really, like, 'cause we don't even get into the case. We don't. Our director's going like this. I don't even know what that
12
means.
steps, I think.
Oh, he wants us to talk about 12 steps. Yeah, but to finish up my
It was
point,
10.
in To Kill a Mockingbird, you don't even get to the rape case until like halfway into the book. So it was the same thing. Like that's very much her style. Even though I know this wasn't like a full book,
Right.
but anyway.
No, that's true. Yeah. Not symmetrical.
12 steps.
12 steps.
Josh,
Oh, boy.
you're on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, mint julep. Thank you, Facebook universe. When we asked what should the drink be with this book, of course it should be a mint julep.
Of course.
Of course.
Is this about the Kentucky Derby?
Mint. Mint from my garden.
There you go. All right. So, step 1 of the 12 steps is visit isolated hometown. Step 2, reconnect with childhood friend and future love interest. Step 3. Oh, God, I can't read my handwriting.
I hate it when that happens. That happens to me all the time. Is this the one I thought was spreadsheet?
No, this is here about the court case.
Oh, hear about the court case.
Here about the big court case.
Supreme Court case.
Right. Yeah, that's what I call the Supreme Court. Oh, that's a big court. Step 4, racial slurs and speedsters. Step 5, no gem. I'm still upset about that.
Or I guess it was more like,
Yeah.
he got his mother's heart.
Oh no. The heart that loved a racist.
You know, people are very upset about
I
that.
know, that's why I'm gonna keep hammering it home. It's controversy. Step 6, the Black Plague. Step 7, racist speech by O'Hanlon. This is kind of where everything. This is where I thought the book started to turn around.
Wait,
And
what was
actually-
the Black Plague the name of that pamphlet?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
The Black Pamphlet.
Yeah.
Would you like a Jimmy John's napkin?
Sure.
Thanks.
Is it made out of trophy animals?
Oh. Yeah,
Banana
yeah.
guides. That's my own
Minnesota. Not all Minnesota dentists are bad.
thing. It was the guide's fault.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the guides were the only ones culpable. How did we get off on that?
Anyway,
Why did it's continuing?
Because there's Jimmy John's photos of him doing the same thing.
Ooh, I'm gonna have
The guy
to
who
Google
owns Jimmy
that.
John's. Anyways, number
Sandwiches.
number. Ivory crusted bread.
I do it.
Yeah. Number 8, Flashback to Mockingbird. Although, what you said earlier, not the same.
Yeah,
A little different.
a little different.
Maybe that's an ode to how our memory affects us over time.
It's genius, Josh. Genius.
I'm just making stuff up. Number 9.
In a
How do
brilliant
you say it?
way.
It's Calpurnia? Calpurnia's Dilemma?
I've been calling her Calpurnia in my brain, but my brain's been known to be wrong.
I too call her Calpurnia
Okay.
in my brain.
Sounds like a flower. Anyways, step 10.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely like a flower.
Step 10. Arthritis advocates to the rescue question.
I liked how he had those wooden thread things.
Yeah.
And,
Spools.
I don't even get it. I don't get it.
So they're just like these big round things at the bottom of his
Forks.
cutlery so that he could grab them. It's genius, really.
Yeah,
Genius.
it's kind
It's
of like
like
if
a-
this was a fork, then there was just a big spool.
He Rube Goldberg his affliction.
I don't get that reference. Someone explain it to me.
No? Rube Goldberg machine or whatever.
Like
you call it?
lots of
Yeah.
unnecessary steps to accomplish a simple
simple-
task.
Oh.
Like eating oneself.
Step 11, Uncle Jack Slap. That just sounds like a fun song. Step 12.
Or dance move.
Yeah, exactly. Step 12, realize your father is no hero. Oh.
Aww.
That's my biggest problem with this book, by the way. I didn't like this book. I'm going to say that right now. Because it kind of read like a first draft, which is fine, because it was. So I can't be too mad about that. But, like, I don't know. Atticus was made this hero, and then you have to realize that he's really not. Or
And
the
not
hero you
only-
thought.
Okay, so for me, it was like I read this, oh, Atticus is a great guy, and 2 days later, okay, so he's not a great guy. But for the rest of the world, they went through their lives thinking Atticus was a good guy, and I
It's true.
feel for you people.
Was To Kill a Mockingbird written from Scout's point of view?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, and that's one thing too, because she's 6 in that book.
No, she is 8.
Okay, but
Yeah.
still, like,
And got a mouth like a sailor.
Like,
Hell no, says Scout. She says that a lot. Hell no.
still, like, you know, she was 8 in that book, and now she's 26.
I know it's,
So,
yeah, 20
like, the
years later.
difference in perception and like knowledge
That's a
of
good
the
point.
world.
That's interesting.
It's true. It's a good point. But in To Kill a Mockingbird, there are certain points in the book where she'll say, like, I didn't know it then. At the time, I didn't know it. Like, so she interprets
Oh, okay.
past events in a more mature manner.
Okay, so the narrator is older than the time period.
Yeah, and Harper Lee doesn't slip it in very often, but she does, and reminds you that, you know, the reason you're getting this slightly more mature view. is-
Gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah.
That wrecks my joke.
Oh, what was good? Well, maybe it doesn't.
No, I was just gonna say it's funny how 8th grade or 8-year-old Scout has a better narrative voice than 20.
26 years, yeah.
She's
You
like the
are-
Benjamin Button of fiction.
I never saw Benjamin Button. The Curious Case of
Except I
Benjamin
think
Button.
it's
What
Anyways.
was Misty? What
Yeah.
was your favorite part of the book?
Oh no.
It's hard to say favorite because a lot of what happened in the second half was not necessarily pleasant. I think it was kind of alarming to me, you know, when she went to see Calpurnia and like the woman basically wouldn't acknowledge her or talk to her. It was very polite and there was a definite distance between them that she kind of realized would never be bridged. And I think that was kind of part of her general realizations about the town and like how things were set up. It was very sad.
That's when things get real.
Yep.
Yeah. Josh?
That's a good question. It definitely wasn't that racially fueled speech by Mr. Grady O'Hanlon. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think I have a highlight from this book. I'm gonna be honest.
One of the part, and I mean, I know we use the term favorite loosely
Yeah,
here
yeah.
because, you know, come on, it was a bummer. But when she finds that pamphlet and sits down and reads it and then goes and talks to her aunt, I was like, yeah. Because one thing I liked about this book is how it just kind of like pulled out sound bites, not even complete thoughts.
Yes.
Just fragments of sentences,
When she's
one after
listening to
another.
at the coffee and people are just talking about their kids and their husbands and their boring lives.
And when she's listening to the council meeting.
Mhm.
And I think there's a couple other instances of it too. And I really like that technique because you didn't have to get down into that horribleness, but you totally felt it. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was an interesting approach.
Going back to favorites, I did like her conversations with Uncle Jack. He was kind of nutty and crazy, but I enjoyed them.
He had a cat
Uncle Jack was nuts.
He did?
that he fed a sardine on a cracker.
Oh yes, and they shared it.
Fancy
It was a very fancy cat.
Very regal cat. Yeah, I guess structurally it was kind of interesting, like the foreshadowing of, is it Henry and Scout that are driving, and then yeah, that was definitely a foreshadow. Or was it the same car?
Wait,
What do
how
you
is
think?
it a foreshadow?
Well, because then that happens before we find out that, what's her name, Calpurnia, her son, hit that drunk guy.
But what was foreshadowing? What? Are you talking
When there
about
was-
when they were driving
Yeah.
to Finch's Landing? Or
Finch's Landing.
When they went swimming.
Oh.
I'm not sure where.
No.
I feel like they were either driving home, like it was soon after
It was
she
soon,
arrived,
like, the first third of the
and
book.
then didn't the car pass them,
Yeah, and
and
then
then he's all like,
He said something weird like, yeah, they have money to buy a car, but they don't pay for insurance or anything. It's like, what?
oh, when they were coming back
I
from
thought
the
it was a
landing.
really weird thing.
When they were
so-
coming back. Oh,
Yeah.
that was foreshadowing. Okay.
It's definitely-
Now I see it. Thanks, Josh.
I should have hindsight
That-
shadowed.
Hindshadowed.
Yeah, because she was dreaming in the car to
Yeah.
Finch's Landing, and then in the back, yeah.
And I thought it was also interesting how Atticus, defended the minority in To Kill a Mockingbird, and then he took the opposite stance in this book. So there's a lot of weird, and I guess no one really knows if there's even supposed to be any symmetry there, or whether this book was supposed to be published in the first place.
Well, see,
But-
when I first read about it, I was like, oh, these are going to be completely different universes. I was kind of like, oh,
Mhm.
why is everyone so upset that Atticus is a racist? Because this isn't even the same person, right? Because this is just a draft. But then I read it right after having read To Kill a Mockingbird, and I was like, no, this is completely the same universe. I mean, a lot of it tied together very, very. There were very few instances where I was like, oh, well, that doesn't match up in what I read in To Kill a Mockingbird. So because it was so close, then I was all like, well, maybe they really shouldn't be mad because, yeah, that is kind of a letdown when your hero isn't your hero, and it seems to be in the same universe. Like Atticus Finch is Atticus Finch in both of them, We were talking about how it didn't really seem like they were two different universes. So it was all the same universe, and one way that you could kind of make Atticus's change in character seem less like a change in character and more like a peeling away of the layers is when Scout reads that pamphlet while Hank and her dad are out. And the pamphlet says something kind of very patronizing, well, because it's super racist, obviously, but basically how pamphlet calls it a lesser race, and it's very like, we need to take care of them. They can't take care of themselves. If we are to believe that Atticus believed what was in the pamphlet, and the pamphlet believed that it was Atticus's duty to take care of this quote-unquote lesser race,
She said duty.
then the fact that he acted the way he did in To Kill a Mockingbird, where he knew that that person was innocent and to defend him, it's still totally meshed with his character. So I don't think there was such a big disconnect there.
I don't, and like I said, I haven't read To Kill recently, but it seemed like on an individual level in To Kill a Mockingbird, he was concerned for their justice, and this man was not guilty, and that was what made him take the case. Is that true? Or he was assigned the case?
Yeah, he was assigned the case, but the person who would typically be assigned the case wasn't assigned the case. And there's actually a part in To Kill a Mockingbird where I can't remember who says this to Scout, but it's basically like, why do you think that happened? And it happened because everyone wanted him to get a fair trial. And I can't remember the name of the man who was on trial, but basically, Atticus was his best hope. So there you go.
It's hard to really try to match these books because part of the controversy of this book even coming out is the fact that Harper Lee might have not even wanted it to.
Yeah, but
because her sister died who was protecting this manuscript. And then the next person that came in was like, hey, look what I found.
Oh, yeah?
And Harper Lee is like in not good condition.
And now they sold a gazillion copies, and hopefully it'll go to
Amazon's
a foundation.
#1 pre-order and HarperCollins.
Okay, yeah, let me go off about Amazon. Never pre-order a book on Amazon. Just don't do it. It will not show up on your doorstep the day the book comes out. It will come the day after. So I had to buy 2 books because I wanted to get it on the day it came out. So that's not cool, Amazon. Not cool.
What did you have for lunch the day the book did not show up?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's? Is that actually true? Okay. I don't even know.
Napkins don't lie.
You guys, I did have one LOL. Let me look up my LOL. Okay, ready? Okay.
Embracing myself. Okay.
It was a cow obituary in verse, beginning, "O kind, no longer mine, with those big brown eyes of thine," and containing grave breaches of Christian philosophy. Mr. Underwood said, "Cows don't go to heaven," to which Mrs. ECB replied, "This one did," and explained a poetic license. I laughed.
For the record, I was very disappointed when she compared the town pastor, or
Mr. Stone!
Mr. Stone, to a certified public accountant.
You even posted on
I
Facebook
did.
about it. Next time, make sure you tag Boosbrook Baedeker. Okay, yeah, that was really poor form, Misty.
Oh, man.
Properly briefed.
Which was
But
my
maybe.
bad. Which was my bad. I mean, Josh could
I
say
could've
me
said
too.
me too.
No,
Me
I'm
too.
kidding.
But he won't, because he doesn't take accountability. I know the crowd you roll with.
Only public accountability.
Man. Well, I'm going to look through some of my other notes. Did you guys take notes?
I took digital notes.
Okay. there's-
Yeah, I have these notes and its characters.
What?
The name of the court case.
I can't read my handwriting. I have the same
Oh,
issue
yeah.
as you. It looks like I said Waterman Bible reference. What does that even mean?
Or the
Watchman.
Watchman Bible reference.
It's from the
Yes.
King James Bible.
That's right.
I
That's
have, I have the verse.
Isn't it
if
from,
you
like,
want me to
Isaiah?
read it.
Let's hear the verse.
It's from the Bible, Isaiah 21:6. For thus the Lord said unto me, Go, said a watchman, let him declare what he seeth.
So
So who's the
So
watchman?
we noted that everybody's their watchman, right?
Maybe.
You gotta set one. Just go set one.
Or is it Scout? Because her name's Scout, so she watches anyways. Know what I mean? No?
Well, I feel like at one point
There's no connection there?
Atticus is supposed to be the watchman of the town. Like they go into at the beginning how he's this kind of town figure where everyone thinks he's kind and brilliant and judicious and all of these wonderful things. And then it turns out he's none of these things. Maybe some of them.
Okay, on page 72 of the hardcover, the house had a routine history for the South. It was bought by Atticus Finch's grandfather from the uncle of a renowned lady poisoner. Lady poisoner. I love it when they pan on the dogs. I think that's so great. Who operated on both sides of the Atlantic, who came from a fine old Alabama family. So is a lady poisoner a lady who poisons, or is it a poisoner who
Of
poisons ladies?
I took it as a poisoner of ladies because would the lady own the house?
Yeah.
I think not.
The uncle. Why not?
Because she was.
Men die, man. It happens.
So do
I
ladies.
feel like the song was Abby-esque and like the heir had to be male. That's what I'm putting out there. I don't know for sure.
You're probably
Could be.
right, but I just thought it was interesting that the words lady poisoner bless the pages of Ghost and Watchman.
Wow, that was poetic.
It is. Yes.
A stoat. Okay, so on page 55 of the hardcover, he was a short, square-built, cotton-headed individual with the face of an angel and the cunning of a stoat. So I didn't know what a stoat was, so I Googled it. You gotta Google it too. They're so cute.
It's like a weasel.
No, it's so much cuter than a weasel. It's
Ferret.
really cute.
Ferret. Maybe that's what I was looking for.
Cuter than a ferret, even.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but somebody in the neighborhood lost a ferret, and they put up $100 reward signs all over the neighborhood for a lost ferret.
Did they find it?
I don't know.
Sarge was interested in claiming that reward.
Oh, did Sarge come home with a dead ferret? Oh, good. Okay. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
It was live when you brought him home.
Oh, who's got the Google up? I have a vocab thing here that I never got to Googling. It was a vocab word, and maybe you guys just know it and I don't. It's called alacrity.
Oh, alacrity.
Oh, alacrity. What?
Fast, speedy.
Really?
What's the?
You're very educated, aren't you, Misty? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, alacrity. That's supposed to be a T? Oh, look at that. My handwriting, I tell you. It's like I totally just missed the T.
That's fine.
Okay. What else do I got here? Okay, I got you my runnels of your brain. What the hell's a runnel? Are you fascinated with yourself?
Usually.
You will say anything that occurs to you, but what I can't understand are the things that do occur to you. I should like to take your head apart, put a fact in it, and watch it go its way through the runnels of your brain until it comes out.
Who says that to who?
I think she was in the coffee thing. I think Scott was saying it to herself while she was at the coffee. So that's a pretty good one.
That's a t-shirt. Harper Lee. Are you fascinated with yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's just called quote. You ready? She sank into a deep armchair and considered how all occasions had made her poor indeed. My aunt is a hostile stranger. My Calpurnia won't have anything to do with me. Hank is insane, and Atticus. Something's wrong with me. It's something about me. It has to be because all these people cannot have changed. That wasn't funny at all. That was very sad. I think the dogs thought it was sad too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. What else? Oh, Josh!
Yes.
There was a reference to a book we've done on Baedeker in here.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, well,
You would have picked it up, picked up on it if you'd read it.
I did read the book. I just don't pay attention to minutia, apparently.
So, yeah. So, if you do a lot of Baedeker books, and maybe one that we did, I don't know, a year ago or so?
Okay.
Rosemary's Baby?
No.
That would be awesome.
No. It was Dorian Gray.
Oh yeah, there were multiple references.
Yeah, multiple, Josh, multiple.
My excuse is I didn't find this book interesting, so I skimmed the shit out of it.
So yeah, it was really, he had not changed. His face was the same as always. I don't know why I expected him to be looking like Dorian Gray or somebody. So she found out this thing about her father, and so she thought that the next time she saw him, he would just be like all possessed. But do you remember that really clever thing you said on the Dorian Gray episode?
No. I don't. This is why you can't set me up like this on camera, because I have no idea.
You said just the cleverest thing, and it just tickled me. And you said that Dorian Gray was pretty much
Horcrux?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
a really bad Voldemort. Shitty Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Got all the stoats?
Oh, what does Dio Valente mean?
Oh,
Deo Valente?
is it DV?
Yeah.
That was, they explain it a couple pages after that.
No, it just means Deo Valente. Oh, does it mean God willing?
Yes.
Oh, see, when they said God willing, child, God willing, I just thought that was just something they were saying, not that they were actually, translating. But they were translating. So thank you for translating for me, Misty, the fact that they were actually literally translating. Go Set a Watchman. I do not think you will enjoy this book if you have not read To Kill a Mockingbird. But if you have read To Kill a Mockingbird, and especially if you've read it recently, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. It was very enjoyable. How about you guys? Up, down? No, you hated it. We already know that. You hated it.
But why did you hate it? Or what was...
I just don't like it because I don't think it should have been published in the first place. I think the publishing company wanted a bunch of money.
Well, duh.
And I think they took advantage of Harper Lee, who is not in any condition to make any decisions about whether she wanted to publish her book. But when she was, she said she'd never publish another book.
So Josh feels strongly.
I liked it. I read the To Kill a Mockingbird Wikipedia page. That was my preparation for reading Go Set a Watchman. But I actually really liked it, and I thought, even though it's probably not the most well-written book, I definitely think there's things that could have been edited out, wording changes, that sort of thing. I thought it was very appropriate for the times we're living in and the conversations about race we're having right now. So I liked it.
Yay. So do with that what you will.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, most of the people watching this are because they have a book club in like 10 minutes and they need to get caught up, so.
That's why I watched this.
What's next?
Oh, I didn't bring the book out.
What is the next book?
Oh shoot, that's okay. The next
The
book
Ocean at the End of the Lane?
is The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Very good. By, do we know who it's by?
Neil Gaiman? Or is it Terry Pratchett? I don't even know.
Okay.
Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman?
Oh, yay.
So yeah, so that'll be our next book. This was a very quick read. Yeah, that was another thing. Like the pages weren't dense. Like you just kind of flew through
And the
it.
text is huge.
Ocean at the End of the Lake. It is a quick read. It's an even quicker read than Go Set a Watchman. It's very engaging. Currently, I think I'm about 40% of the way through, and I can't wait to get through it. So it catches you from the beginning, and you'll absolutely love it. I can't vouch for the last 60%, but we're really excited about this book.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Thank you, Misty, our guest host, for coming. We love having guest hosts.
Indeed.
If you live in the Minneapolis area and you would like to guest host, you only need to reach out to us on Facebook, and we will be happy
With a
to
book
help.
recommendation.
Well, yeah, you have to have a book recommendation. Otherwise, we just don't think you're that good.
Yeah.
And was there any activity, people pairing books and booze?
Thank you to the kind soul who sent us a photo. He was reading, who did House of Leaves? Danielewski. Mark Danielewski
Yeah.
has another book.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And someone posted a picture with an lambic ale and the book, and we appreciated that. Keep those coming, because I think now, our rules say we have to read it now, right? Because they posted it. That's like a rule we have. If they post booze with a book, we have to read it, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that was
Yeah.
Where in this did they go to drink? There was something about like people not drinking in their houses. They went to
The milk
some
factory.
things for a setup.
They went to a juke, right? A J-O-O-K. What the hell's a juke?
What's a setup? I don't know.
We need to Google this. What does that even mean? It sounded bad, but then I was like, no, I think it's just a bar. A juke. Who calls
probably-
a bar a juke?
Well, a juke joint.
Yeah.
A what?
A juke joint?
J-O-O-K?
No, that's J-U-K.
Oh, okay.
But maybe that's how they spell it down south.
I know. Northern man's burden.
You Yankees wouldn't get
The
it.
spelling juke. What? I'm so confused. A juke joint, informal social establishment. Yeah. So